The wait is over, and Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds has finally arrived as we dive into Season 2 of Always Sunny. So, let's talk. So, Season 2, Episode 1 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie Gets Crippled, has finally revealed to us that Frank, Danny DeVito, is finally involved in the show. And Matt, I don't know if you know the story of how they got Danny DeVito on the show.
I do not.
So, what happened was FX gave Rob McElhenney and the boys an ultimatum that because of their low ratings from the first season, they needed a star for this show, and they recommended Danny DeVito. Rob was a little bit hesitant. He didn't want Danny DeVito to be on the show because he felt like they already had their unit, but he was willing to go meet Danny DeVito because Danny DeVito, as it turns out, was a fan of the first season. Well, his kids were, and he thought, hey, okay, I'll meet these guys, and apparently it was a match made in heaven. They loved Danny, and Danny loved them. He's still doing the show 14 years after he first got on it, so if you could believe it, it worked, and that's how we ended up with Frank Reynolds, who is a lot of people's favorite character.
Yeah.
And what an introduction it is, as he just jumps out right in front of the car, in front of them, and then Dennis backs over Charlie. So
Dennis, you son of a bitch!
And I just love that right after that, we end up in the next scene where they're in the hospital, and, you know, Frank tells them that Dee and Dennis's mother is dead. Even though it isn't, he's like, no.
It's a business tactic.
You know? And then he tells them, oh, we're getting a divorce. And that whole time, Charlie's sitting there with a bandage on his head and his leg up because he just got all messed up. And Mac is sitting there, so it was just a really funny transition. I really like that opening scene. They actually ended up redoing the beginning of this episode 10 years later when Frank, what do? He fell out a window and he thought he ended up in a time loop.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But it was just, this is obviously already the best episode we've seen so far.
Yeah, moving up right to number 1.
Yeah, Season 2 really kicks it into high gear. We get a lot of good stuff. I really love that they're all trying to get love or affection from others by being hurt or crippled, because Charlie was getting a lot of attention for being crippled.
Yeah, so Mac and Dennis go get wheelchairs and they go to the mall and Dennis has got the blanket because he's got polio.
And then Mac's like, I got polio too. You can't do that, dude. You gotta get your own thing. Only to get upstaged by Dee walking around with crutches.
Yeah.
I have to learn to do it myself. Well, we can't go in there. There's no sympathizers for us.
They've been desensitized. Yeah, it was a great episode. Everything in the mall was great. They race, then they fight, then the actual guy in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, two guys pretending to be handicapped, and now they're kicking each other's ass.
They just can't control themselves. They're all, and then Dee's just like, assholes, and walks up.
And then she's dragging her legs.
Yeah. That just really drives home what these characters are going for, which are just horrible people.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and then I love at the end how Dennis is just so upset about Mr. Tibbs, which is a weird in the heat of the night moment how they call him Mr. Tibbs. So I never noticed that little throwback there to that movie.
Strip club.
Yeah, strip club. You're driving, dude. He's all drunk. All right.
And then they run over.
This time a random guy.
No, and they hit everybody. He basically everyone got injured except Frank, I think.
Yeah, just Frank, but the one guy.
I know, maybe it was Frank because Frank was trying to take the crutches away from Dee, and then the one guy was in a full body cast. And
yeah.
Frank goes, well, let's be thankful that no one important got hurt.
And he's like,
the guy's lying there, assholes.
No one important got hurt. Yeah, no, so if we're going to whip out the chart for this week, I think this goes right up, rockets up to number 1. Like we've been promising you guys, once we finally hit Season 2, we start to have some real fun with this show, and this is no different. Oh my god, is that dog hair?
Yeah, that's just from petting Dexter.
Oh my god. Hey, Dex. Oh, Dexter's here, guys. Hi. Okay. Alright, hi Dex. Everyone say hi to Dexter, he's here. And like we've told you before, big Always Sunny dog.
Big shatter, too.
Yeah. So guys, you know, it's that time of the week again. This is where we spin the magic wheel. So I'm going to pass it over to the good-looking John, future John with his nice blazer. And Dexter, he'll be back next week, I'm sure. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed our Season 2 Episode 1 section of this video, but now it's on to the big digital code giveaway of the week. This time we have 8 names entered for a chance to win either one of 3 digital codes. You either get Blade, Clueless, or Solo a Star Wars story, which we'll have a review up on the channel this week as we were just hammering through Star Wars movies. And also guys, just a quick heads up, we're also starting our Jurassic Park series this week, so that's why I whipped out my old Jurassic Park mug. It's actually my favorite mug. I love this mug. My wife bought this for me a long time ago. I don't really use it much because I'm afraid to break it, because I break everything. It's one of my fatal flaws. I'm a destroyer. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my destruction of the world. We're here to talk about people and their chances to win digital codes. So guys, we had a lot of people entered. We got 8 names this week. I saw a lot of great comments about people's favorite X-Men characters. I saw a lot from my personal favorite, Wolverine. Somebody mentioned that their favorite was Gambit, which is really cool because I agreed completely. I always wanted a Gambit movie, but after all those rumors, we never got one, even with Channing Tatum attached to it. We never even got that movie, so that was actually a little disappointing to me. And we got a lot of Sam Raimi love. I really am glad that people are fans of Sam Raimi because he's one of my inspirations. I love him. I love what he does with small budgets and big budgets. He's my kind of filmmaker. But enough of me rambling. Let's just find out and see who won this week, alright? Let's go for it. Well, as you guys can see, we got sound back this week, but let's find out who the winner's gonna be. Daniel N! Daniel N. N stands for new winner because this is the first time I believe that you have won our digital code giveaway, and you've been entered quite a few times. So just reach out to us on one of our social media accounts or at our email account where everyone can always contact us at letstalkentmt@gmail.com. So make sure you reach out to us so you can pick your prize. And guys, I want to thank everybody for entering in this week's digital code giveaway. It is one of my favorite parts of the week to do this. I just really have fun all weekend talking to you guys about movies. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I love movies. I'm just a huge film buff. It's my thing. And to find other people who enjoy it just as much as me is just really a great thing. And just to give you guys a couple quick channel updates for everyone who stuck around to the end of this, I do appreciate that. Like I said earlier, we're going to be starting our Jurassic Park series soon. We're going to still be doing our Star Wars series. And then after we finish up those 2 series, we're probably going to dive right into summer blockbusters, including the MCU, and I know a lot of people have been requesting that I re-review Jaws because, as I've said in the past, I'm not a huge Jaws fan, and we're going to get right down to the bottom of why that is, because even I can't figure that one out. And guys, like I've mentioned many times, and I mention every week, once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to be giving away one of these bad boys, which actually still to this day is still right now my favorite 4K set, or any 4K of 2022, so somebody is going to get a chance to actually see that in person because it really is phenomenal. But we do have some competition coming up in the next couple of months, especially at the end of June. Arrow Video is releasing a True Romance 4K, and me and Matt already have ours pre-ordered. We ordered a couple different versions so we can review that for the channel. So that right now is my most anticipated. As of now, this is still the best of 2022. So whoever's the lucky winner once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to do that too. We're going to somehow, I believe, fit 500 names on this wheel. I don't know how, but that's what we're going to do. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel for all that upcoming stuff. Also guys, if you're subscribed because of our video game reviews, unfortunately lately there haven't been many new releases, which has kind of slowed down our video game reviews and everything like that, but Matt's been jumping in there and trying to make some video game related videos to try and, ease that pain for you guys. So I'm sorry if you're subscribed just for our video game stuff and we haven't had much of it. That's why we've been trying to have as many movie and TV reviews as possible to try and make sure that everybody is being satisfied, I guess, or that make sure that everybody, is happy or copacetic with how the channel is going. But guys, please, if you have any requests or suggestions, please just drop them in the comments section below. Me and Matt are both pretty friendly. I obviously am the better looking, the nicer, the more talented version of the two of us, but he's still around, so don't worry about that. But you just got to make sure that you let us know what you want to see on this channel, and I will do my best to make sure that that video is made for you guys. I love making videos. I love finding new movies. I love finding new games. It's one of the greatest things is when you discover a movie for the first time, especially a movie that's been around for a long time, and that movie just hits you right in the heart. So we're going to try and make sure that we make those videos for you guys. But guys, enough of me rambling. I know it can get a little long and a little long-winded because I'm a huge fan of my own voice, but please guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and you tell all your friends.